どうも、カイ先輩です。これからもし英語で喋りたかったらね、Zoom リンクをクリックしてください。なんかその Zoom リンク見えるでしょうかね。だからこの生放送で英語でおしゃべりしましょう。そうですね。英会話の、悟りですね。だから、よかったらね、英語の練習したかったらね、どうぞリンククリックして一緒に英語でおしゃべりしましょう。So, how you guys doing? It's a beautiful day. The rain finally stopped in California. I don't know how it's going in Japan or in Tokyo or wherever you are, but thank you for coming. And hopefully, you're going to get a little exercise, English exercise. You know what I mean? Accent exercise. I don't know how you guys think of it yet, but in my head, I don't think English exists, to be honest. I think that basically everything is just accents, you know? And right now, I'm talking in my accent, and you're talking in your accent, but like, is your accent cool? Like, are you good with it? Like, are you satisfied with it? And I don't know, like, I see a lot of comments on my channel, and when I see these comments, I'm kind of like, hey, yo, um, do you speak English? Like, it's kind of like weird, like when people are like saying things in the comments, and I'm like, yeah, okay, so, right, so my Japanese sounds strange. Okay, so we can all agree that foreigners have accents, right? Like, let's just be honest, right? Because that's a, what do you call it? Assumption that we all have, right? But you don't know. You can't look at somebody and just know, can you? You actually have to talk, before you hear a foreign accent. And I know that, like, it's really odd. Like, some people just swear that they can't understand me, and I think there's some sort of like weird level of xenophobia that goes into that, because I've seen the same thing happen when like white people talk to other kind of like people, for lack of a better word, right? And they're like, well, how do you speak with such great accent? And they're just kind of, what are you talking about? Like, I was born in California. Why wouldn't I? Like, we can't just look. We actually have to talk, and we actually have to listen, and we actually have to recognize what we're saying to each other, and like how we're saying it and what accent, because like at the end of the day, accent is like the invisible badge that we all judge each other, and it's kind of like this indicator that you don't need to wear like an American flag or a Japanese flag. You just need to literally speak with your accent, and everybody knows where you're at. Or everybody knows where you're from, at least, right? Like, maybe you can change your accent, and then people are like, oh, wait, you're from here? You're not from here? Like, you sound natural, right? Because we can change our accent, right? So this live stream is really all about you kind of borrowing my voice and starting to talk like this. And talking like this is a pretty California / American way to talk. I don't know if you really like it or not. I honestly wish I could speak with a British accent, but if you need an American accent, you need a like kind of like, I don't want to say neutral, but like a common accent. That, I think that's a pretty fair way to say it, because of Hollywood and stuff like that. A lot of people talk like this. So if you want to talk like this, just take my accent and talk like this, So like, now everything that I say is you, right? So I am Japanese, and I'm talking with an accent, and everybody that speaks English kind of knows. I did talk to Australians before, and they didn't recognize like which state I'm from, but that's fine. They did know that I was an American, right? So that was in Kyoto, right? So you never know by looking at somebody what you're going to get as far as like where they're from or where they're going, right? You literally got to talk to people. And so that's why I literally talk to people, listen, and proceed from there. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of us do judge prematurely based on looks and not based on quality of character and stuff like that. So, anyway, now that we're able to talk, like a normal person, I want to get out there and I want to go out and talk to as many people as possible. And I want to improve the quality of the conversations that I'm having with people. And it's always weird for me because I get kind of trapped in this little, I'm a YouTuber, right? But there's many reasons to talk to people outside of YouTube. It's just that my imagination is so crazy. I kind of see reality is a death run right now. And the only way to kind of get through the death run is to find 10 people and to film it. It's kind of weird. I see the film in my head and I could probably lay it out, pretty successfully. It's just the crazy thing is, I don't know how many people actually understand what I'm saying. Like when I get into this kind of like loop here, it's like, okay, at what level are you entering this conversation at, right? Because like if you were to know me, you would know kind of like the background story of like what I'm doing with all this, like the kind of the momentum that I'm creating. But everybody's different and you have your intentions, you have your dreams, right? So my dream is to talk to as many people as possible, and my other dream is to kind of like create a bilingual culture across the globe where everybody speaks the quote unquote global language, and then everybody has kind of their quote unquote local language, and everybody can fluently switch between the two. That's my dream. My other dream is also to kind of like create a new culture of like people that involves more foreign exchange programs, to say the least. But we'll save that dream for another day because we're here right now in 2025. Oh my God, time is flying, right? And I've just come to realize that I don't know how to speak English fluently yet. I'm still learning. I'm still practicing. The crazy thing is I learn things in other parts of my life. Like for example, my back, all I know is it hurts. But recently I've discovered the joint and the muscle are separate things. And I didn't know that. So before I was getting confused. I was like, it hurts. I don't know what hurts. Just everything hurts, right? And in the same way, when you guys are studying English, right? You're just like, I don't know, I'm just not good. I'm not good enough. I feel weak. I feel like I need more practice. I feel like I don't speak English. Like whatever limiting beliefs you have, right? Don't worry. It's the problem. I hate to say it, but the problem's in your head. All right? It's not in your ears. It's not in your throat. It's not in your books. It's not in your school. It's not in your teacher. It's not in your culture. It's not in your God. It's not in anybody but you. All you got to do is flip a switch in your head and just literally start mimicking the sounds that you hear. But here's the thing. You guys know that it doesn't hurt, but you haven't distinguished between sound and letters yet. And this, I hate to like get into the lesson part of all of this, but hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a Zoom link that you can click. And if you click that Zoom link, you will be able to have a conversation with me because this is all about you. Yes, you being able to speak like now, not tomorrow, not next week, but now. And so you have to acknowledge your ignorance. And this is the hardest part, all right? Trust me. Let's 例えの話なんですけれどもね。俺の背中の痛さと君の英語の力が同じですね。痛いって感じですね。ダメって感じですね。それで、俺のなんだろう、背骨と筋肉の区別があるって本当に先週気がついたのね。それで同じように君がまた文字と音の次元まだ区別できてないね。だって英語の勉強してなんか読んで勉強してるんじゃない？字幕とか教科書とかさ、だから読んでるから何読んでるこそ英語喋れない。違うか？日本語合ってる？俺たまになんか日本語わかんないじゃん。で、何々こそってなんか最近なんか通訳ツール使って何々こそみたいな、その言い方は何だろうね。だって俺日本語を読んで勉強したんだけど、まあどっかでこれ言わないといけないから、なんか言う前になんかチェックするのね、ネイティブチェックするのね。だからホストファミリーになんかこの言い方大丈夫ですかみたいな確認しましたよね。なんかステージに出る前に大丈夫？で、なんか聞いて真似したのね。違うか。で、何々こそってまあ読んで勉強してなんか変。俺にはね。だって聞いてないから、この言い方わからん。何々こそ行かないとかさ、なんか例文とか使ったことないから自分からなんだろうね。ネイティブの日本人の使い方聞かないと勉強にならないって感じ。自信がないって感じですね。だからなんだろう。君たちは、まあ、全く確認してないんじゃない？何にも言い方。もうすべて読んでるし、その教科書の CD の先生の言い方を真似してるし、なんか全くネイティブの喋り方のセンスがないでしょ。痛いね。耳痛いね。でもこれからどうするかって、you gotta like mimic the sounds that you hear, and that's why we're here, right? That's why we're here right now. I'm here to sound more like a native person, right? To sound more like a Californian. That's why I'm here. I'm here to learn. You know, I'm here to speak English. I'm here to get better. You know, I'm here to improve. So, 俺の英語ね、使ってくださいね。自分の声として。なんか独り言とかするんじゃない？日本語で考えるとね、腹減ったとか、今日お店行きたいとかさ、なんだろうね。でもこれ日本語から英語にしないといけないから、I'm thinking in English, alright? I'm getting hungry. I gotta go to the store today. I gotta go to the cafe. I gotta get a coffee. I gotta talk to the app developer。 まあ俺の話なんですけれども、君はどうですかね？わかんないじゃん。君が話さないと。だからZoom のリンク出してるんですけれども、チャレンジなんですけれどもね。だってよくね、なんだろうね、海先輩のなんだろう、教え方とかさ、わからんけど、俺の動画とか、いっぱい出してるんですけれども、なんか、結局、もう、君の英語はどうですか？芸能人より、君の英語はどうですかって感じですね。だから、チャレンジ的に、どうぞ、リンククリックして、英語で話してください。で、ほとんどの後輩が、自信がないでしょ？ 生放送で話す自信がないでしょ。その場合、俺の声を使ってくださいね。なんていう、かすからね。So, I'm going to take Kai Senpai's voice and I'm going to use it for myself. I'm going to listen and I'm going to get better. And I'm going to listen and I'm going to mimic and I'm going to practice. I am practicing, I am listening, and I am getting better. And I don't need to do this in front of other people. I can go to my room or karaoke-kan and I can practice by myself. I can practice by myself and I can practice all day. That's what I need to do. I need to practice all day. And to be honest, I should be talking all day with my microphone and with my earphones. And I should just be getting into the rhythm of how to actually talk to myself. And this is good practice right now, even just listening to this, because one of the things that I realized is that when I read, I can't hear the intonation, you know, like I'm reading the translation or whatever. It's like, I want to hear the intonation, and the intonation is like a melody. And so when you don't hear the melody, how do you know what to say? How do you know how to sing it? You know what I mean? Like literally, English is a song, and every accent has a different song. And if you don't know that song, it's like, hey, why is that guy singing wrong, right? So I want to sing like everybody else. I want to talk like everybody else. When I lived in Maizuru, I tried to talk like everybody else. When I lived in Tokyo, I tried to talk like everybody else. You know, I tried to blend in. I tried to fit in. And I think that's a very human thing, you know? So now that I'm in California, I want to sound like a Californian. If I go to England, I'm going to try to blend in when I go to England, right? But where do you want to go? Where do I want to go? Where do we want to go? Where do we want to spend time? And if I was learning English, I would go wherever I wanted to go to learn that English, right? And it's crazy because now that I'm not really learning English, I kind of want to go to all the English countries and just listen to everybody, you know, because I have my own accent. And when I hear other accents, like an Australian accent, a New Zealand accent, or an English accent, or a Scottish accent, Wales, man, there's so many accents out there. I want to go to each country and I want to hear all of them. In fact, I think that my next major trip after I go to Japan is going to be England. I'm going to go to England. I'm going to go to England because I want to, first of all, kind of explore maybe any ancestor kind of like roots that I might have. I don't know. The last time I checked, a lot of my family has been in America for quite a long time, at least since Washington. I know that one of my relatives is like Washington's older brother or something like that. So, you know, it's kind of like American as American can be, but it would be interesting to like investigate and go really listen to a real British accent in England. You know what I mean? But I've never done that. Not yet. It'd be cool. It'd be nice. I went to France. Don't speak French, so you know that was kind of a kick in the balls, you know what I mean? Like it's so frustrating when I can't communicate with like the local people. Same thing in Thailand and Vietnam, you know, and Korea. I always have that frustration. It's like, man, I wish I could speak the local language, but hey, I speak English, right? I speak English. You speak English. Most of us speak English. Not most of us, but a lot of us do. And so being able to talk to anybody feels like a magical gift, you know? Like, because I can speak English, I can talk to anybody, and that's cool. Anytime, anywhere. Okinawa da. Okita-san, konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. O genki deshou ka? I really thank you for coming by. Hope you're enjoying this edition of 英会話の悟り. I kind of try to imagine it like a radio show. So if you're on the train or if you're driving along in your car, that all you got to do is listen and you're going to learn, you know? You don't, well, obviously if you speak, you're going to learn more because your brain then has to kind of like actually put something together. Excuse me, I'm always scared of those P's because they pop the mic, right? But anyway, you got to put something together and you actually have to vocalize, which is not the muscles that you're used to using because, you know, most people sit and stare at a book or write or type or look at a phone. And it's like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I learned a language without a phone, and so can you. You know, so my ultimate goal is to never use the phone again and to never use a computer again. That would be like the ultimate dream, right? To be like, oh, I never have to use a computer ever again. And that would be wonderful. But hey, in the meantime, we have to use these computers, all right? And so hopefully through the power of computers, we can create some sort of fictional moment that will last or spread or have influence amongst many people. But you have to kind of like think in the big picture that everything that you're doing today is basically becoming the foundation of your future. So if you listen to somebody, for example, on a Sunday, and you really make Sunday your English day, well, then you're going to have this kind of custom where English just becomes, you know, a Sunday thing. Now, for me, like I've said, it's always English day. Every single day, I wake up and I go to bed on English day. And every single minute is just me talking to myself in one way or the other. I mean, I really realized that. And then when I actually do talk to other people, and it's just like, oh, you're thinking about that? Okay, that's interesting. Maybe, kinda. But like I said, I'm more interested in the big picture stuff and the big dream kind of thing. And like I said, the ultimate video that I would like to make is like this imaginary thing in my head that you guys can't see yet. And it makes me wonder if it's worth the effort or not, you know, because to make a video from scratch really does take a lot of time and effort, you know? And you kind of wonder, man, why am I doing this, you know? Or even like doing a live stream like this, it's kind of like, well, for whose benefit are we doing this? And is it really for, you know, any benefit at all? And I would say it totally is, you know, that one person hearing something and then like actually changing their, not just their thinking, but their beliefs and their actions, it's more than enough, you know? And as I do this, and as I understand, there's millions of people that don't speak English yet, and it makes me realize that, well, I'm going to have something to do every single day. Like, there's always going to be somebody that needs to hear the truth. The only problem with the truth is that it just isn't anything found in your textbook, you know? You're not going to find the truth in school. You're going to find like a direction. You'll find an idea, but you're not going to get the real truth until you actually start talking to people outside of the classroom. So, you know, again, this little moment that we have is just like a temporary moment anyway, as we pass here through Space Camper right here. But yeah, the whole idea that you guys can just hop on this live stream and speak English with me because you guys can see the Zoom link, right? I know that everybody gets a little like scared, to actually have a conversation. And that's why, I don't know, I think that's why I'm a YouTuber in a sense, is because for me, I am pretty sure that I've taken my ego out of the equation. And for me, it's not about me so much as it's about really creating what you guys need given the circumstances, So the circumstances are you're on a phone, you're on YouTube, and you're looking for quality content. Now, I don't know how much more quality content you're going to get than a live person speaking to you like as a human. Because as I search YouTube and do my YouTube research, I notice two things: scripts and a lot of fake English, like fake, like robot voices. You know what I mean? So where are you going to get like real authentic like interaction? And I realize, oh, well, I have to bring the interaction straight to you. And I don't know why the thing makes the balloons when I make hand gestures or whatever, but whatever. But yeah, the real interaction is what you need. And more than that, what you need is to actually open your mouth and speak. And so I am giving that opportunity. If you see the Zoom link, you can click it, and then you can come on here, and then you can go blah, 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 blah. Now, I think a lot of people think, okay, you're just going to make fun of my English, or you're going to correct my English. And I'm learning because, half of me is like the teacher, right? Like, pink no e ga da kara, above, right? なんかそういう発音のレッスンって感じ。でもそういう発音のレッスン今したくないね。だってアプリがあるから、その発音のレッスンしたかったらアプリをダウンロードしてください。今の目標は、君の英語をやり直すんじゃなくて、君の英語を聞くだけね。話す機会がなかったら、これは機会ですね。どうぞ、よかったらズームリンククリックしてください。まあチャレンジって感じですね。それで勇気ある人本当にいるかいないかで、いなかったらじゃあ俺のアプリダウンロードしてくださいって感じですね。すごいよね、セールス的に考えると。 But if you have the bravery, if you have the strength to actually get up in front of people and talk, then you should do it. Like, I know for me, when I see all of the people that I kind of look up to, all of them get up in front of a camera and they talk a lot. And this is just me noticing the people that I admire. I also notice they have a team. A lot of them have a team. But the people that I really admire have a minimal team, or they have a team that they can call upon for special occasions, such as like a live event or something like that. But the people that I look up to typically are able to publish by themselves, if that makes any sense. I don't know what kind of job you guys have, but as a YouTuber, man, you gotta really think about it. Like the other YouTubers have like teams of people, I don't know why. It's like it just makes it so much more complicated when you have to like depend on somebody. And a lot of times, like, for me, like when you guys see anything that I do, it's 100% me, I mean, even right now, as you're looking at this like cool space van that I got here, And you're looking at my shirt that I'm wearing, right? Like I designed that shirt by myself. So, you know, I am simply doing nothing but living my imagination at 100% within this hour. I'm sorry that I'm only giving you an hour though, but I have to keep it on the low key, on the low down, you know what I mean? Because every single time I make a video, somebody downloads my app. Now, the more people that download my app means the more attention that I need to give everybody, right? Now, the app also has many of the kind of educational tools that I want to share with everybody. So it's kind of like, okay, this is a secret. I'm only going to tell you guys, but I'm currently アプリを今やり直してるよね。So あと2週間ぐらいですね。So I'm really excited and I'm going to talk about that in the future. In the meantime, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to get ready because that is the only thing that we can do. The ideal situation is that I have a broadcast studio in Tokyo or the Japanese countryside, depending on, I don't know, how I want to do it. That would be the ideal situation, but this kind of breaks it down into kind of this weird kind of like legal thing because I don't have a visa to live in Japan. So what I need to come up with is the digital nomad lifestyle utilities now. You know, I'm creating the system that's going to allow me to travel the world basically right now. I did 2 years of travel as I guess it was a test run because I was still working on the app as I was doing it. But now that the app is fixed, have everything in place and it's going to be a lot more fun this time for sure. But without the proper tools, it's hard to kind of travel the world. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would like to have my broadcast studio in Tokyo so I could like literally just invite people to come on to the broadcast all the time, you know what I mean? But since we're in a different time zone, it's like playing this game of YouTube with one arm behind my back, you know what I mean? Like tied. Like I would be making so much content if I was living in Japan. Having said that, no visa. Can't live in Japan. Just, 2 or 3 months. And then people are saying, oh, like over tourism and stuff, and there's like xenophobia and stuff. But like, I don't know. That stuff's always been there, Like to me, Japan is Japan. It's kind of been that way probably since the Meiji era, if you really think about it. But, a lot of progress has happened since the internet, obviously. If anybody was around in Japan before the internet, you would know what I'm talking about. Jesus Christ, man. Like, I swear to God, I see the other people making the Japan videos. なんか外人のね、なんだろうね、日本に関して外人の話聞くかって感じですね。なんだろうね。もういい。本当にイライラするっていうかさ、でもなんでみんな怖いのかなって感じですね。英語を喋れる日本人いないのって感じ。なんで外人が日本の紹介してんのって感じ。Top 3 places in Japan for drinking とかさ、Top 5 cities for meditation とかさ、いつも外国人の観光客って感じ。日本詳しいのって感じ。英語喋れる日本人そんないないのって感じ。いや、俺見てるんだけどね。なんだろう。まあ、ネタって感じだけど、侍の、 まあ日本の文化とか、まあ侍とか、まあそういうチャンネルかな。でも日本人がやってるチャンネルだけど、英語で喋ってるのね。で、しかも彼の英語がうまいんですね。ちょっとジャパニーズだけど、まあちょっと英語喋れるよみたいなね。まあ演技してるかもわからんけど、面白いよ。ね。日本文化って。日本人から学ぶとね。外人から学ぶとなんだろうね。大学生の時、なんか日本文化、文化日本文化の、ちょっとクラスがあったんですけれども、先生が、World War II のおじいちゃんだったのね。その時代の白人の先生ね。しかも日本語できない先生でした。で、その人から日本の文化を、学んだね。俺ね。日本語喋れる生徒をね。まあ。面白いよね。みんなの自信どっから来てるかなって感じだね。日本語喋れないのに、詳しいね。違うか。日本語できないのに、できへんのに、日本に関して詳しいね。よくご存知ですね。違うか。だからなんだろうな。でも俺のターゲットはね、外人じゃないからね。俺いつも日本行ってからもうずっと、日本語って感じですね。日本語を使いたい。日本語で喋りたい。だから日本人と喋りたい。だけどね、結局日本行って、韓国人の友達もできたし、中国人の友達もできたしね。なんでかというと、ロシア人の友達もできたしね。なんでかというと、日本語喋れるから、ね。なんだろうね。逆に、東京にいるとね、いろんな種類の人の人と喋れるからさ、日本語でもね。面白いよね。よく考えると。でも俺の日本語の話じゃなくてさ、君の英語の話ですね。多分それなのね。いつもね、日本人は英語喋れるようになりたい。じゃあ、厚英語みたいに喋りたい。ね。翼が言ってたよね。なんか、厚英語みたいに喋りたい。いや、なんで日本人を真似してんの？外人真似してよ。直接、ね。外国人と話して、その人の真似してよ。ダメか。なんで日本人の先生から学ばないといけないのって感じ。ケビン先生とか、チカ先生とかさ。なんで日本人じゃないといけない？直接外国人と喋りましょう。問題はね、そういうルッパ先生みたいな先生が多いから気をつけてください。I am talking really slowly. Thanks for watching Kai Senpai's English channel. This is Robot Voice. I hope you hate it. My God, I feel so silly for talking like this. However, I want you to understand what robot English sounds like. It sounds like crap. It sounds dumb. It sounds fake. It sounds insincere. It sounds like AI is creating slop for everybody to listen to. Have you ever listened to an AI-generated history video? Back in 1876, the emperor declared all foreigners were hereby executed on sight. Does it make sense? Yes. No. Robot speak. Lame. Why am I even talking like this? This is so stupid. I get so frustrated. I guess this all informs like why I've done what I've done. Because when I was living in Tokyo, I made recordings for one of the English schools, and they were like, talk slower. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody talks like this. Nobody talks like this. But go ahead, make me. Like, oh, that's right. You're paying me to talk like this. Okay, fine. Hi, John. What would you like for breakfast? I would like pancakes. Do you know where we can get pancakes? Oh my god. Why? Why do you guys listen to that crap? You know? So here we are, and I'm having like the most authentic hour I can possibly have with you guys. And all you got to do is guide my voice. You can hop on the Zoom and you can literally use my voice in any way that you need to. All you got to do is ask the question. You know, all you got to do is have the conversation, and all of a sudden you can have access to pure, source native English. But you have to be willing to open up your voice and actually talk in front of people. And that is exactly why you don't get better, because you don't open your voice in front of people. You want to ride a bike, you got to ride a bike. It's really that simple. You want to learn English, it's like, well, you got to speak English. So if you want to speak English, then you got to speak English. You can't listen. You get good at listening if you listen, So it's like, I've been listening for 20 years now, 30 years now. I've been listening for more than a year. Then you got to speak, man. Dude, listen up. You got to speak. You got to get out there. You got to do it. And so if you're not doing that, in reality, you have this opportunity to do it online, but then you're like, well, I don't want to get embarrassed. I don't want to do it in front of people because then they'll make fun of my accent. So maybe I shouldn't do it. Now, if you're really listening, you can understand that my accent is really silly because silly people don't really talk like this. You know what I mean? Don't worry about being embarrassed, because everybody it sounds funny to no matter who you are, somebody out there in the world is going to think your accent sounds funny. So for example, I think Australian accents are funny. Sorry, mate. It's just how they sound, like a British accent sounds like, snobbish or educated, right? So we all have our kind of stereotypical judgments about other accents, right? For better or for worse, true or not. But the way I'm talking right now is just kind of like normal town, to me. I'm sure somebody now, some people think the southern accent might be interesting or possibly even entertaining. Not I. My southern accent is quite dry, you know what I mean? Kind of boring, if you know what I mean, and quite inauthentic, if you know what I mean, because I really don't know what I'm talking about. It sounds like somebody I'd see on King of the Hill, something like that. Now, if you've ever seen King of the Hill, that's a southern accent. I think it is, because I've never really seen or heard a real southern person, you know what I mean? I drove through Texas like a hard drive, you know what I mean? Get through in one day. Never ever, well, I did stop and get a cup of coffee. People seem kind of normal, but I did not stick around to hear that kind of twang, you know what I mean? Because that southern accent just has a feeling, and I can't authenticate it because I really don't hear it enough in reality. I only hear it on YouTube. I only hear it in a video. So it does feel strange for me to do that accent, because it's I don't know. I have no idea, I'll stick to what I know, which is this one. And this one's kind of cool, I think. But again, I'm trying to give you guys authentic English, whatever that means. This is as as if I'm having a conversation with a normal person in real time. Now, I know you guys are not normal, you're special, and you're like VIP. But engaging your mind where you're at and like to give you guys exactly what you need is kind of like this, like, 占いの話になっちゃうんですけれどもね。でもまあまあまあ、英語喋れない状態だったらさ、もうこれからやんないといけないことがまあ決まっとる。なんか不安みたいな、でどうしようみたいな、なんかみたいな気持ちはないよ。もしバイリンガルになりたかったら、じゃあまず音を、英語ネイティブの人を聞いて真似して、まあ磨いて会話しないと喋れるようにならない。もう終了。教科書、授業、先生の話全く関係ないですよ。ね。英会話レッスン、アプリ、全く関係ないね。これからもし喋れるようになりたかったら、英語ネイティブの人を聞いて、モノマネして、まあ自分のアクセント磨いてください。それだけ。毎日。それしかない。本当に簡単に言うと、英会話しないと。英語で。だから俺、日本語で喋っとるやん。日本語で喋っとるから君が日本語で考えてる。But if I speak in English, all of a sudden you are now thinking in English. Do you understand everything I'm saying? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It's not my job to kind of like police what you understand, what you don't understand. That's up to you. And every time that you hear a word that you don't understand, maybe you should just put it in the chat. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, it's not up for me to police, right? And so, like, you guys can actually ask questions as like, what do you mean? Like, for me to police, you know? So, like, a lot of people see me as like the accent police, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, ダメ R, L みたいなね。And, you know, like, 海先輩ですみたいな、キャラクターみたいなね。You know, I'm trying to like lean into one thing or the other, but like, I'm not policing an accent. I just notice them. I notice every detail all the time. And even like when I explain, because people ask, you know, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, you just, it's like I can make a YouTube video about that question that you just asked because you just said, what do you do, right? And you just said that with a California accent, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, I did. Like, how'd you know? It's like, well, how'd you know? How'd you know? That's how I knew, because he's speaking with a California accent. And like all the California people are like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? And like, oh, that's my accent. I never noticed that I had an accent. Every fucking person says the same thing. 英語ネイティブなのに自分の訛り、意識してないって感じですね。だからほとんどの人間ね、英語のネイティブでも英語を勉強してる方でもね、アクセントに関してもう全く情報がないって感じですね。ネイティブでも日本人でもね。で、俺が、いつも通り喋ってるんですけれども、まだ誰も分かってないって感じですね。アクセントだ。もうアクセントしかないって感じですね。それで、また日本語で喋っておるから、なんか勉強になんないじゃん。まあ、日本語で話した方が楽しいんですけれどもね。俺にはね。But, you know, you guys need to understand that there's kind of like a lot of accents out there. So, you know, this one right here has got its own twang. But if you want to talk like it, I suggest you listen to King of the Hill. You know what I mean? If you want to listen to this kind of accent, then, well, just watch anything like Friends or something, you know, because like a lot of people have this kind of neutral, you know, West Coast accent, for lack of a better word. So anyway, I hope that you guys are enjoying the listening experience here in the California camper, Space Camper. This is a light episode because every time I make a video, more people download the app, right? And I am trying to fix the app right now. I mean, 2 weeks 2 weeks away. I got a guy in Pakistan who is fixing the app. Everybody should be happy because this is going to be the radical awesome offer that everybody's just going to be able to study with me. Like everybody in the world will be invited to download the app. I'm really excited about it, but since it's 2 weeks away, we don't have a lot to talk about. You know what I mean? Because like if the app was ready, then I would just literally be doing a live stream all day, because the more people that download the app, well, the more people I have to take care of, right? And then I would have to start scheduling more seminars for all the people that come, right? So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be happening in the future. A lot of seminars, a lot of meetups, and you guys are definitely going to be invited, all right? I'm just letting you guys know now, because seriously, it feels like what we're doing right now, this is all just a test. Because in the future, there's going to be like 50 people listening to this. And then in the future, like we're going to be doing more like live meetups somewhere like in Japan or Tokyo or maybe the countryside, the beach or something. Well, 合宿とかやってもいいんじゃない？英会話合宿って感じですね。So anyway, there's a lot of things that I'm really looking forward to doing with you guys, both like public live stream and members only. Because once the app is going, I'll have my member list like very clear, So yeah. 中国行ったことありますか？まあ、台湾って中国じゃないよね。行ってみたいんだけど、怖い。ベトナムも怖かったよね。やっぱり。あれだから。旗が赤いから。ね。なんかもう本当アメリカから考えるとね、なんか俺の子供の時の育ち、ね、カミュニストって怖いじゃんって。ね。で、ベトナム行って、いや別に何もなかったよね。まあ、泊まってたホテルのチャリンコをパクられて、なんかベトナムの小判行ってさ、まあそれがちょっと冒険だったよね。でも中国はね、怖いよね。うん、怖い。なんか、あれじゃんって感じ？the CCTV みたいな。なんか、まあわかんない。元気もないって感じ。Yeah, I'm kind of scared to be honest. One of the live streamers that I watch, he went to China recently, and he's like, "Yo, China's like the future, guys." So I don't know. I kind of want to go, but like I said, I'm kind of scared. The surveillance and the I don't speak Chinese, だってさ、韓国行った時、その空港のスタッフに英語で話した方がいいか、日本語、それとも日本語、韓国語できないから、どっちがいい？日本語か英語か。で、いや、英語で話してくださいって言われた。ね。だから中国でもまあ英語通じるのかな？わからんけど。わかんないよね。行ったことないからね。怖いもんね。香港か、北京か、上海か、わからん。ね。興味ないね。なんか行ってみたいけど、そこまで興味ないよね。Yeah, so in relation to that though, I would say most American people have no real opinion. They don't have a true opinion of China, and probably don't even have like actual Chinese friends, if that makes any sense. Because I don't think you can really have an opinion on anything unless you've met the people, you know? And so I would say most Americans probably have a skewed view of China because of movies and just talking to Chinese Americans, right? But actual China, I don't think Americans even understand what is going on, you know? I think most Americans are basically ignorant of China. Yeah. So they don't love it. They don't know it. And then they just probably hear some sort of like news about the tariffs or something like that, or a trade war, or, you know what I mean? So it's basically whatever opinions they have of China are through the propaganda of the system. So, yeah. Most Americans are ignorant, for sure, of China. For sure. Just like they're ignorant of Japan. Like, but you know, Asia, right? They're all Asian. Like, some of this, the stories that you hear when other Americans are talking about sushi, I swear to God, can I say it? Is this okay? But Japan equals sushi, the kanji. Yeah, do American people love Japan? They don't know what Japan is. They like the culture, I think. I think, you know, video games, for example, they're like, oh, yeah, Japanese video games, great. Japanese cars, like, for example, Toyota. A lot of people drive Toyota or Subaru. So, like, yeah, like, and then, yeah, sushi. Oh, yeah, don't forget Shohei Ohtani, right? So a lot of Americans, especially Californians, they like Japan. I don't know about love, but they probably have something Japanese that they like, and, you know, be it like video games or food or something like that. So, yeah. Like, American people like Japan or love Japan. That's like a fair statement. But like, in terms of like China, I just don't think enough Americans really have like tangible interaction. Because, like, for example, there's no Chinese cars in America, right? And Chinese food, you know, is you can just go to Panda Express, you know, like, it's delayed. There's a gap. The actual China that's happening now in 2025 and the image of China are probably totally different. That's what I'm saying, for most people. And I'm saying that hopefully aware of my own ignorance, because I have not been to China, so I don't know. I have talked to a few Chinese people, so I mean, you know, I have some sort of understanding of things. But yeah, I would say most Americans, though, yeah, they know China is kind of a information gap compared to, you know, Japan, where everybody knows Shohei Ohtani uses a translator. Chigauka. So yeah, no, these are good questions, by the way, because you know, you don't know until you go, right? You don't know until you ask, right? And I'll be honest, you know, when I lived in Maizuru, you know, we talked about sensitive subjects. For example, like, I asked my host grandpa, I asked about his experience during the war. I listened to his story. He went to Yokosuka at age 15 or something. just as the war ended. And I felt really thankful. So, you hear stories, right? Because you talk to people and you listen and you learn. And that's how you gain opinions, is through actual experience with real people, not just a video, not just a YouTube documentary, you know what I mean? Not just a news story. But it's like, no. I like talk to my grandpa, if I can share this story. Yeah, no, you're welcome. I remember once I was driving for like Uber or Lyft, and I went to South Central LA, and I was picking up people there. If people know South Central LA, you'll know what you know what I'm talking about. But I was like just driving, picking people up, and we were talking, and I said something like, basically, like Obama was like the greatest. America needed Obama. He's like the best thing that's ever happened to America, or something like that. And the guy that I was driving, he stopped. And he's like, something to the effect of, I wish I heard more people say that. I was like, yeah, man. Like, I mean it. And I think it had just more to do with, like, me saying it, because it's South Central LA. But I had the feeling that, like, oh, okay, no, it's cool. Like, you haven't talked to a lot of people like me. I get it. Because we all live in little bubbles, everybody's in the bubble, like literally. Everybody is like in their own little bubble, and they think they know things, and they don't. Man, it's really interesting though. So, yeah, the more you can get out and actually just have the honest conversations, the better, But yeah, if you guys just 一応ね、アメリカ人はほとんどバカって言いたくないんだけど、ignorant ね。でそれ日本語で言うとなんだっけ？なんかインフォメーション、情報が少ないっていうことだよね。バカじゃなくて情報が少ない。それとも聞いてた情報が間違ってるから、なんか実際の状態知らないって感じですね。だってニュースしか聞いてないからね。だからアメリカ人はバカじゃなくて情報が少ない。でそれが良くないと思うんですね。アメリカ人ね。So I want to ask you, do you know Ali? Who's that? Sakakibara? She's bilingual, so I want to check her English. Yeah, I can do that, maybe. I've never heard of her, so that makes for a good video, right? No, actually, I'm gonna do that maybe this week, because like I'm saying, I don't know if you guys know this, but every time I make a video, you guys watch it and then you guys like download the app. And right now, I'm trying to pause. I don't know if you guys I haven't made a video in a few days, because every time I make a video, you guys download my app. And I want you to download my app in 2 weeks, not today. So that's why I'm so like frustrated that I have to even make this YouTube live stream like this. I'm wasting time basically, but I'm not, because I just wanted to say hi in the meantime. all the things I want to do, I'm going to be doing basically from December, January, February, March, April. In the meantime, we're literally chilling. All 5 of us. I am trying not to be popular right now, if that makes any sense. Because seriously, every time I make a video, more people download my app. And it's crazy because I remember I was in Canada visiting Kata and the family, and I was like, blah, 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 the app, blah, blah, blah. We went camping, came back, and like one of the videos had taken off. But not only that, like, because one of the videos took off, well, so did the downloads of the app, and it was like 1,000 downloads in a month or something. 1,000 people's a lot of people, right? And that is you times 1,000. So I have to like, hey everybody, how you doing? Like, welcome, right? I have to make sure that everybody's learning something, and I have to make sure that the app is like functioning. And there's so many things that go into like taking care of you. And right now, 5 of you is great. It's like, oh, you're listening, cool. But like, what am I going to do when there's 500 people? Oh, wait, what am I talking about? 15,000 people have downloaded the app. You guys know that, right? So just sit with that for a second. And every time I make a video, more people download the app. So, what am I going to do when there's like 30,000 people downloading the app? What am I going to do when there's 50,000 people? So in the meantime, I'm trying not to make a video. I'm trying to make something that does not get popular. Just because I want to say hi, I'm still here, and I don't want you to forget me per se, and I'm not forgetting about you. You know what I mean? Because when we kind of like learn a second language, right, you got to be practicing not just once a week, but like every day. In an ideal world, maybe I could do a live stream every day, but like I said, every time I make a video, more people download the app. Right? A real problem I have. Maybe I should just make music, because the music would be like, why are you making music? I'm like, well, we're just killing time. We're just listening in the meantime, and it's okay to kill time. Like when I drive, I listen to things that have nothing to do with anything other than, oh, I'm learning something, right? So hopefully, like I've said, you guys listening to this natural, spontaneous, native-like English is the best lesson that you're ever going to hear all day. Maybe you're going to hear a better lesson tomorrow. Maybe you're going to talk to somebody tomorrow, and that's going to actually be the most amazing lesson that you've ever had in, all week, right? But at least for today, where are you going to find this level of like authenticity and originality, and just, I don't want to say like, but like, yeah, like authentic California accent. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. You just don't get like this trifecta of just like awesome lesson, right? So, you guys, I'm glad that you're here, but it's your lucky day. That's all I can say. And like I always say, you can come on to the Zoom, but I wanted to keep everything light. You know what I mean? Because we're keeping it chill today. And if you guys know my big story and like my big story, yeah, we're waiting for the app to get released in 2 weeks. So just chill. As for you guys, how you're doing, what you're doing, whatever you're doing, do it in English. Just switch your thinking. Turn on your brain, put it on English, and then just act like you already speak English. So now that you speak English, go outside and start talking to people who speak in English. And then as you listen to people who speak in English, your English is just going to get that much better. You know what I mean? As you ask these questions. But you really got to think about it. Who do you want to talk to? And I think about it a lot because, like, as I'm sitting here in America, like, who do you want to talk to? It's like, well, the only guy that I want to talk to is in Pakistan. No, seriously. And he's asleep right now. So I sent him an email. Other than that, I'm wasting my time, in a sense. I'm killing time. I'm just like staying fresh. I'm keeping loose. You know what I mean? And you guys got to keep loose too, because what you're learning right now isn't anything important other than you're just keeping your mind fresh. The real moment that you're going to learn anything is when you go outside and actually talk to somebody. And now all the things that I'm talking about will be like, ooh. You're going to remember, hopefully, oh, that's right, listen to native speakers, mimic their accent, and then, what's the word? Polish, get better, practice. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to remember this as soon as you talk to somebody in reality. But until you talk to somebody in reality, you're just killing time. You know what I mean? Like, you're just basically not really doing the thing that you need to do, which is to talk to somebody in reality. Like, I'm telling you guys, the only time that you're literally going to learn anything is a face-to-face conversation in reality. The next best thing is like a Zoom lesson or something like that, or a Zoom conversation where you see somebody's face. But the evolutionary, tried and true way that's been going on for thousands of years, like tens of thousands of years, right, is face-to-face oral transmission of like language, right? We like literally do not need to read and write to learn the language. All you got to do is like literally talk to real people, not just me, but like 50 people. And that's just it. So every book, every app, every video is just a replacement for a human, And so the less you try to replace humans, the more you're going to learn. So this is a very human-centric way of learning. And I am a human, and you're a human. So, like, let's all dial in and, like, listen to each other. And then when we mimic each other, then we're like really starting to like kind of get the hive mind going a little bit better. Because I kind of do think that if the humans actually all kind of connect and like start thinking in a hive mind, we'll make the world a better place. But we all have to kind of get coordinated in order to do that. And in order to get coordinated, we all actually have to get like kind of like talking. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much confusion that happens because things are getting translated. Like, just take for example アメリカの大統領の言ってることがありえないよね、クレイジー、狂ってるんじゃないの、ボケてるんじゃないのってよく考えるね。ボケてる人と話したことあるんですか？まあ日本語で話したことあるかもわからんけど、英語のボケてるのおじいちゃんと話したことあるんですかね。まああれはトランプ大統領ですね。だからなんだろうね、そういう直接彼の言ってることなんか集合がないじゃんみたいなね。だからこの間なんか南米の話なんかしようとしてたんだけど、南アフリカって言っちゃって、で南アフリカって言っちゃって、もう南米の話なのにね。すごいよね。でもそういう失敗とかさいっぱいしてるのに、通訳者が 100% 全て通訳してないと思うよ。ニュースのフィルターがありますよね。だからなんだろうね、マンツマン的に会話しないと何が起こってるかわからんやん。携帯から見てる情報だけ、ニュース、YouTube みんなヘッドラインニュースみたいな感じだけで、本当ですかねって感じ。本当にそれが起こってんのって感じ。本当に中国は日本に起こってんの最近。わからん。ニュースで見たんだけど、総理大臣が中国にいろんな変なこと言った？でもなんか変なことを言われた？って感じですね。だからなんだろうね、わからない。 行ってないし、わかんない。最近なんか日本人がいなくて、本当にカリフォルニア、俺の近所にね、わからん。本当にわからん。でも俺、なんだろうね、日本語使わなくても忘れないよね。すごいよね。もう一人でもなんか日本語使えるから、なんかある意味幸せ。違うか。Anyway, so guys, I do appreciate the time. I really do. But this is a light session. This is like 英会話悟り light. I'm gonna go. I started early because of the time shift, but that gives me a little more time to play Fortnite tonight. Yeah, you guys, you really don't understand, but when I get into programmer mode, like I'm in programmer mode, I have like a little Fortnite, how do you say, exercise that I do. But because Fortnite is teaming up with The Simpsons this season, I am so happy. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy running through Springfield. Like take your dreams and now live them, you know? So yeah, I want to play some Fortnite, eat dinner, and go to bed because yes, my shoulder still hurts, but it's better, but it still hurts. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot that you're paying attention, even though it's Satori light. But yeah, in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing more. And I can't wait to tell you about it in 2 weeks. But until then, December 8th-ish, we're going to keep it light. We're going to keep it cool. And we're going to keep it chill. All right? So take it easy today. I hope that you get outside. I hope that the weather is lovely in Tokyo. The temperature should be okay, unless it's raining, right? Boy, it's going to be winter soon. Crazy, right? But yeah, the way time flies is interesting and scary at the same time. But I do hope to see you guys soon. Definitely we'll be talking soon for sure. But that's going to be after everything in December. But, assuming everything starts going according to plan, February, March. But let's not get ahead of ourselves because we got to live in the now. And the now is now, not tomorrow, not next year. Now is now. What are you going to do now? You're going to listen to English right now. You're going to mimic English right now. And you're going to go outside and talk to somebody right now. 違うか? I don't know. Guys, have a good one. Oh yeah, don't forget, I have shirts. If you want the shirts, I'm going to push these shirts a lot more in the future, trust me. But today I noticed that somebody noticed my shirt from the car and they tapped, they were driving with somebody, so they were like, look at the shirt. So I know that native English speakers love my shirt, as you should too. No, but seriously, if you want to have an easy, excuse to talk to somebody, in reality, just use my shirt. I swear. They will read it and they will go, oh, what does that mean? And then you can tell people, you go, oh, that's the color system, Kai Senpai, or whatever, right? You can choose your own shirt. And I'm going to make a lot more shirts in the future as soon as I get the app fixed. So check that out. It's really cool. It's unique. And if you get one of those shirts, you're going to be one of the only people in the world that has them. So that makes you more unique. And get it? Uniqlo. So check it out. Be cool. Share it with your friends. Talk about it. Because that's the whole point. When you wear the shirt, all you have to do is go, oh, hey, can you read it? And now you're having a conversation. Oh, can you read it? Can you see? That's all you got to say. And they'll read your shirt and you'll talk about it. You say, yeah, I'm working on my accent. Color system. How do you say the red A? Can you read the red A? Babble, right? So anyway, this shirt makes it 100% easy. It's like easy mode. If you want to have a conversation with a native person, this puts it in easy mode because all you got to do is point to the shirt, say, can you read it? Now you're having a conversation. So check out the shirts over there, guys. Go ahead and get one. I think you can get it in Japan. I got mine here. Like it's a, what do you call it? Printful. So they said they have like the print things in Japan. So you can get them here in America. You should be able to get them in Japan. But if you want to be the coolest person in all of Shibuya, Harajuku, then you should get these shirts. And then you should buy them for your family and your friends. And yeah, you'll be the coolest guy. I swear. Or girl. 違うか. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to go. You're going to have a good day. You're going to be practicing everything that I said. You're going to be like thinking about it. You'll be like, oh, that's right. English. All right, cool. I'm thinking English now. And I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to talk to somebody. I'm going to get Kyle's, Kyle, I said my name, shirt there. Kai senpai. See, that's a weird thing. When I'm thinking in English, right? My name's Kyle, right? But like, it just doesn't make any sense to say Kai senpai in English because it's like, what? Well, some people, like, アニメのオタク、まあ先輩の単語してると思うんですけれどもね、ほとんどのアメリカ人は先輩っていう単語知らない。先生の単語してるかもわかんないけど、空手のあれだから。でも先輩はどうだろうね。So, anyway, talk to you guys soon. Have a good day. I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye, guys. Peace.